Seriously, are you being lied to? Do you feel like your agent, your realtor, or your sales associate is not telling you the truth about everything? Well, in today's episode, I'm going to talk with you about 5 things, that you need to make sure you ask when you're purchasing home here in the Villages, Florida. If you're new here, I'm Robyn Cavallaro, licensed realtor. Here's my contact information. I am on a quest to reach 10,000 subscribers by June. If you could help me do that, if you have not already done so, please subscribe. And I am open to any comments that you have about buying a home here in the Villages. The landscapers are outside. Please ask them in the comments. I do try to respond to almost everyone. So it really does help my channel grow, and I want to know exactly what you think about the content. Also, stop for a minute. Make sure you get that book. You can get this as a download on my website or in paperback on Amazon. Or if you're into pickleball, you got to check out these journals I have available, lined and unlined, on Amazon. Okay, so let's get into the material. So first, now I'm speaking about MLS realtors and also about representatives from the Villages. When you are purchasing a home here, there are things that you must know and must be made aware of, but sometimes you may have to ask the question for whatever reason. They overlook it, they forget, they don't know. You, as the buyer, must be informed. Number 1, the bond. The bond is a huge, controversial topic here. I am here to tell you every single home has a bond or has had a bond on it at some point in time. The older homes, the bonds are paid off. Very seldom do you find a newer home with the bond paid off. I have come across maybe 1 or 2 south of 44 where the bond was paid, but it is highly unlikely. Every home has a bond. When you are with your realtor or sales associate from the Villages, ask them, does this home have a bond? What's the bond balance? What's the anticipated payoff year? And what is the monthly installment that's paid, or the annual installment to your tax bill? They know it. If they don't know it, they can easily look it up. It's very simple. It's all in public record. You can find it. I can't speak for the VLS Sales Associates, but I know in the MLS we have a form that the sellers complete and sign stating how much the bond balance is, what the annual payment is, the CDD maintenance fee, the fire assessment, and we put the amenity fee in there for the sellers to sign and you to acknowledge as well that you understand this is how much that bond balance is. The sales associates from the Villages know there is a bond, and they have that information. If they don't have it readily available while you're viewing the homes, demand this information before you purchase a home. You do not want to be surprised when you close to find out that home had a $30,000 bond on it. You just need to be aware. Please understand this disclaimer. I am not telling you that they are misleading you. Sometimes they might not know, but you need to disseminate for yourself how good your agent is. And I say this about everything. There are good and bad in everything. There are good realtors, there are bad realtors. There are good hairdressers, and there are bad hairdressers. And I've had both. I'm on a good streak right now, I think. There are good mechanics, there are bad mechanics. There are good teachers, there are bad teachers. So, if you feel that you're not getting the information you need, you either need to request a new agent if you're working with Villages, or you need to find another realtor. But just make sure, as long as you're armed with all the questions that you need to ask and you need to know, then you'll be fine. All right, so the bond. Number 2, bedrooms. That is a huge, huge topic now, including the roof. But the MLS is cracking down on how we list homes that do not have a closet and what does a closet mean. So, when you're searching in the MLS, now, an MLS realtor, if you're searching on Zillow, we need to list a 3-room home. Let's just say it's 2 bedrooms and the 3rd room does not have a closet, that no longer can be called 3 bedrooms. The MLS, our board, states that that 3rd room must have a closet to be considered a bedroom. A Murphy bed with closets does not count. It's considered 2 bedrooms with a den. So when you're searching, and I discussed this in my previous video, 2 bedrooms and a den, if you're going to search and you want 3 rooms, 3 bedrooms, 3 rooms, whatever, to put a bed in, you have to search 2. And then in the narrative, so underneath, the listing agent will write up a description about the home, all the features and benefits, and they will put right up front, 2 bedrooms and a den. So do not set your search for 3 bedrooms because you will be missing out. Conversely speaking, you must check with your village's agent, your village's sales associate. If it says 3 bedrooms, that is indeed 3 bedrooms, not 2 bedrooms and a den. Ask for photos, look in that 3rd bedroom if there is a closet. It's up to you to discover, because I hear stories about, hey, I didn't pay my income tax, but the IRS says, oh, well, too bad, you should have known. So here's your disclaimer, you should have known. Make sure you do your due diligence. You are the buyer. You're spending bank on these homes. I don't care if it's $250,000. That's a lot of money. $100,000 is a lot of money to anyone. Make sure you check your information. I hate to see someone be upset because they bought a home and they find it devalued because it's 2 bedrooms and a den, not 3 bedrooms. So make sure you ask about the 3rd bedroom, the 3rd room, does it indeed have a closet? Okay, and I'm ranting, I know. I actually, what sparked this whole video is I had a long conversation with a friend and colleague of mine, and we're talking real estate, business, and some of these topics came up. So I thought it was really important that I address it with you, my viewers, because you are here. You want to hear everything you need to know about making an informed purchase on a home here in the Villages. Okay? All right. The roof. Yes, the roof. Well, I know the roof is a tough one because it's all over. I have people say that they're getting insurance if the roof is a little older, and some other buyers tell me they can't. It's just a crapshoot. It's case-by-case basis. But what I can tell you is you should be concerned if the roof is 12 years old or older. Some insurance carriers will cover it, some will not. Having an inspector look at the roof and say the roof is in good shape is not good enough. I do read in some narratives that the roof is in good condition. A roofer came and, it's a 30-year roof. And I would agree with the statements I just made that they make in their narratives. But the final determination will be the insurance carrier. So no matter who the roofer is or who the listing agent is on either side, MLS, VLS, you'll need to make sure that your insurance company, or you find an insurance company that will cover it, because they are the determining force here, is the insurance carrier. Unless you want to buy a home without insurance, I do not recommend that, ever. Remember, I never recommend you buy a home without home insurance. Okay. You heard that here. I don't want to flash it through here. Okay, so location. Now, you want to know what your surroundings are when you're purchasing a home. The biggies here: power lines, the turnpike. Power lines are found throughout the Villages. The turnpike noise primarily is south of 44, but also any road, main road, Double Yellow Line Road, Odell, Bailey, Hillsborough, the roads that cut through the villages from Buena Vista to Morse, they're filled with traffic every day, cars and carts. The turnpike, well, tractor trailers, trucks, and cars. So you want to make sure you know what is in behind the home. Now, I have read listings where it says there are no homes behind. And that statement is true. There are no homes behind, but I've seen a road there too. So make sure you check a map. If you're buying the home sight unseen, if you're here, well, make sure you walk around the house to see the road behind you. And the road noise might not bother you. I tell this story all the time. I had a couple from Brooklyn come in and they were all kinds of happy because it wasn't that loud to them. So it's what you feel your threshold is. I had a buyer, bought a home over in Monarch Grove, and he loved the home. He wanted to make an offer. We walked outside. I said, I want you to stand here for a couple minutes. He said, why? I said, because the turnpike's right over there. I want you to listen to it. I want to make sure that you find that level of noise is acceptable. Now, we couldn't hear it inside the home, but you could hear it out on the lanai. Is it disturbing? You are the one that can determine that. I can't hear. It's bliss, I know. But so I really can't hear half the thing. So it would not, some of it would not bother me. But you need to be aware that that noise is there and what is your level of pain. What can you withstand before it becomes intrusive on your life? Because the last thing you want to do is buy a home and then turn around and sell it because you can't stand the noise, or there are too many golf carts going by, or you're right by the pickleball courts. Because that noise doesn't bother me, but if you're near a pickleball court, those balls banging forward, ding, 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 all day long. And when it's summertime, hello, we're playing out there longer, so it's ding, 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 ding all day and part of the night. But it might not be disturbing. Also, you have to look if you're near any rec center, if there's a pavilion outside. Occasionally, people have parties there. Will that noise be bothersome to you? I know I had a couple, and I'm using these experiences because I've gone through this. I had a couple, and they were buying $1 million home, and there was a pavilion back there, and I said, you might want to go over there at night, because now this might not happen often, but occasionally people might have a party there, and they're going to be eating, drinking, carrying on. You might find that bothersome. You might not. But you need to know that that's there, and that can happen, because I would rather you be informed. So I bring out these things. Power lines. Yeah. Do me a favor. If you're buying a home and you're riding with the realtor, make sure you go around the block in both directions. One way, the other way. Look up. Make sure you look up, because that's where the power lines are. Again, it might not bother you, but it does bother a lot of people. We can't get around it. They have to bring power through here, but what is your level of comfort to how close you are to that power line? Only you can determine that. It's up to me to point it out. It's up to you to determine if that works for you. And some of the power lines, I'm sorry, my leg is getting tired here. I'm gonna move. Okay. Some of the power lines are very close and some of them are not. So you just need to make sure, because they don't always come up in the photos, not by deception. Just because when they take the photo, depending on the light, they might not just be readily apparent to the naked eye. And that's more so if you're buying sight unseen, because you have to go by the photos. Make sure, if you're buying sight unseen, that your realtor takes, or your VLS agent also takes a video or a FaceTime or a Zoom or whatever your method of communication is, and you go completely around the home, because you want to see around the back. You want to see what your neighbor's backyard looks like, because if it looks like, a junkyard, you might not want to be there. Go all the way around. Make sure everything is acceptable. I've been to a home where the neighbor's yard was in really bad shape and my buyer decided not to buy the home because he was afraid he was going to have a problem with the neighbor. And that is a real situation. So make sure you go all the way around the home, that you have them go up above, ask them if there are power lines that they can see. Okay? Ask them that question. Also, while you're on the phone, then, if there is a major roadway by your home, have them hold the phone up to hear the noise and ask them, hey, how loud is that? You know, just so you know. All right, taxes. All right, so now the tax, when you see your home, a prospective home that you're looking at, it'll have the taxes. Now that's the tax rate that the current homeowner is paying. And depending on where it is, that tax rate is just the ad valorem tax, the value added tax, the property tax on your home. And it's taxed at the rate if they have a homestead exemption and the assessed value of their home now. More than likely, when you purchase this home, your taxes will increase significantly, especially if you're purchasing an older home and there's only been one owner, because the taxes can only increase 3% a year. That's the most they can increase. The big jump will come when the home sells. They file the deed, it gets recorded in the county, and then you get reassessed at 85% of the selling price. So, and I'm going to put up a video. I did a video on calculating your property tax. It's very easy. You can go on either Lake, Marion, Sumter County's website and check out what your proposed taxes would be. That tax rate is only the property tax, does not include the bond, the CDD, or the fire assessment. It does not include that. That is a non-ad valorem tax. That is, you will not find that on the county's site. When you search those sites, you need to know that there is Sumter County tax, and which is the least expensive. Then there's south of 44 that we have a Wildwood tax. So in addition to the county tax, we have an additional, because we're incorporated into the city of Wildwood, additional tax. And I'll work my way back up. When you go across into Newell, that's Lake County, Leesburg. That tax rate is even higher. Now we're at 13.4 mils, and Leesburg is 16.9, I believe it is. But that you should confirm. Because Lake and Marion County have a tax rate, and then they have a whole bunch of little other taxes that they add into the tax bill. When you go into Lake County as well, there's a Fruitland Park tax. That's in that Fruitland Park section over on the east side of Morse, over Pine Ridge area. That's Fruitland Park. And then you have Marion County tax. So you want to make sure that you understand your taxes will more than likely, I don't want to say double. I can't say double because it depends on when the home is sold, but you can expect a significant increase. Homestead exemption applies if this is your primary residence. You have a $50,000 tax basis reduction for your property taxes, your county taxes, and a $25,000 tax basis reduction for the school portion of the tax. And that's my rant for the afternoon. All right, I hope you found this information helpful. Please, any questions you have about how we operate here in Florida, the process of buying a home, don't forget my book has almost all of that information, and you can get that in print on Amazon, or you can find it as a download on my website. I'm always here as a resource for you, and if you would like to purchase a home. All right, everyone, thank you again for watching, and if you felt that this episode was helpful, why don't you stick around and check that one out too. I gotta finish putting my groceries away. I had a big haul over at Sprouts. I spent $250. They've got a great collection of ready-made ready-made dinners, and I like to take them, break them up, but yeah, I gotta get that away. I bought a bunch of fruit, and now I'm on a cereal and yogurt kick. Anyway, so I'm gonna put my groceries away, then I'm gonna go play pickleball, and then I'll edit this, and you will have it later on. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everyone out there. Have a good one.